Urgent, Chiefs Kingdom fan! Look at what just happened! Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Chiefs Kingdom news, and don't forget to turn on notifications. So you don't miss anything, Chiefs urge to make aggressive first-round draft. Trade Kansas City Chiefs fans are gearing up for the NFL draft, excited to see what their defending AFC champions will add to help the franchise continue its reign over the conference. A 152 record last season and a run through the AFC once again would not indicate the need for much change, especially coming off Super Bowl victories in the previous 2 seasons. But their loss to the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl LIX back in February made for a bit of a wake-up call. The Chiefs are likely still good enough to return to the postseason and reclaim the AFC West Division. But their contenders are gaining pace, meaning Kansas City must improve heading into 2025. This has been a relatively quiet offseason, though, maintaining some key pieces while losing others to free agency. So capitalizing on the 3 days at the draft are crucial. Kansas City will have a good player waiting for them at number 31 in the first round, but could they instead set the tone with an aggressive play to get into the top 10? Joe Summers of KC Kingdom put together a trade urging the Chiefs to move up to number 8, swapping first-rounders with the Carolina Panthers. The Chiefs would add a 2025 third and next year's first to sweeten the deal. With this move, Kansas City would look to assess their offensive line needs or add a defensive piece. To give up this draft capital, the Chiefs are banking on the selections of a player who becomes a foundational asset for the franchise. There is certainly some risk there. However, the Chiefs have succeeded in a similar venture before, trading up from number 27 to number 10 to get Patrick Mahomes in 2017. That aggression clearly worked out. As of now, a trade seems unlikely, both because of the Chiefs' content in staying where they are, but also with other teams not pushing the activity on any trades just yet. Again, Kansas City should still be in position to land a quality player that checks their boxes in the first round, but if an opportunity presents itself, history shows that an aggressive play cannot entirely be ruled out. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Chiefs Kingdom news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks, now let's get back to the news. Dolphins trade idea ships $90 million WR to Chiefs hits, only a matter of time before the Miami Dolphins decide on Tyreek Hill's future with the team. With his latest legal issues potentially coming into play, the Dolphins need to make a decision on what they want to do with the All-Pro. The unfortunate reality is that Hill makes the Dolphins a better team, but with many fans wanting him gone due to his issues off the field and his below-average performance. A season ago, it puts Miami in a challenging position. That isn't even factoring in his cap hit, which will cost the Dolphins a hefty penny if they move on from him at any point over the next few months. Looking for potential trades to move on from him, Last Word on Sports' Liam Rebellato proposed a deal for the Dolphins to send him to the Kansas City Chiefs again, the team the Dolphins acquired him from a few years ago. A return to the Kansas City Chiefs has been teased on social media, with Patrick Mahomes still running the show and the Kansas City Chiefs looking for another top-tier weapon. Hill's old stomping grounds could become a viable landing spot once again, Rebellato wrote. After losing in the Super Bowl a season ago, the Chiefs could be interested in a reunion with the former 1,799-yard receiver. If Hill is anything like he was during the 2022 and 2023 seasons with the Dolphins, he'd give Kansas City the best wide receiver in the NFL. Whether he's still that caliber of player remains to be seen, but if they can deal with his off-the-field issues, Hill would clearly be an excellent addition for the Chiefs. Blockbuster Buccaneers-Chiefs trade would be a dream scenario for Tampa Bay. As the NFL draft rapidly approaches, teams are starting to throw up smokescreens to shield whatever their true intentions are heading into the big weekend. That's nothing new for Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans trying to figure out what Jason Licht might be up to. Has managed to successfully zag when everyone predicted a zig in back-to-back years, landing a pair of key players for the future. Khalija Kancey was the pick 2 years ago, and Licht stood pat last year and watched Graham Barton fall right into the team's lap. Both players have already made an impact, which is why there's a healthy amount of confidence that Licht will once again make the right move. Whether that move involves making a trade is one that has more than a few folks intrigued. Buccaneers-Chiefs trade would be a dream come true for Tampa Bay longtime Buccaneers expert and NFL writer Luke Easterling went over how the Buccaneers could help the Chiefs out when it comes to a big trade in the NFL draft. If Kansas City wants to get Patrick Mahomes some offensive line help that he's desperately needed, then getting Tampa Bay to flip the number 19 pick could be a way to make it happen. If the Chiefs finally want to solve their persistent problem at left tackle, they might need to make a bold move up the board to make it happen, Easterling wrote. In this scenario, they give up their late picks in the second and fourth rounds to leap ahead of multiple other teams with similar needs for Banks, who has a ton of starting experience and the Polish to be an immediate upgrade. This sort of lines up with what we've heard Jason Licht talk about recently, but also with what he's done in the past. If the Bucs make trades on draft night, it's usually to move down and not up in the order. This would accomplish that, but also create a potential dream-come-true scenario for the team as well. Not only would Tampa Bay get a nice little trade haul from the Chiefs in the form of more draft capital, but Easterling predicts the team would still land linebacker Jahad Campbell at number 31 overall. If this happens, it might be time to get another boat parade scheduled. Campbell has long been seen as a top target for the Bucs heading into the draft, but mocks have been a little all over the place regarding where he might land. Some injury questions have cast doubt over his stock, but he remains one of the best possible options for the team as it tries to find a successor for Lavonte David. Beyond landing Campbell at the end of the first round, the idea that the Bucs could add another second-round pick is a total steal. We've seen the team cook on day 2 before, and giving Jason Licht another premium pick to spend is a dangerous game for the rest of the league to play. We'll see if this ends up happening, but even if this exact deal doesn't come to fruition, it does. Introduce the idea of the Bucs trading down as a real possibility. Nobody knows what the team will do other than Licht, but it's looking like there's more than a few fantastic options on the table. Chiefs could sign Titans star if cut due to legal issues. L'Jarius Sneed's future with the Tennessee Titans is already murky, despite playing just one season with the team. The Titans traded a third-round pick to the Kansas City Chiefs to land the star cornerback, but his first year in Tennessee didn't go according to plan. He was limited to just 5 games due to injury and didn't have a single pass defended or interception. When healthy, Sneed could be an impact player, but now off-the-field issues are in play. Sneed is facing charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer thinks that the Titans' outright moving on could be in play, which would pave the way for a reunion with his former team. How the Tennessee Titans handle L'Jarius Sneed as he faces charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon over a December shooting at a Texas car dealership will be interesting, since new GM Mike Borgonzi was actually part of trading him away from the Kansas City Chiefs a year ago, Breer wrote. Kansas City, for the record, really liked him, but was nervous about his bulky knee. I bet they'd bring him back if the Titans end up cutting him. Sneed is just 1 year into a 4-year, $76 million contract he signed with the Titans after the trade. They would take on a dead money hit of $31 million if they cut him. Depending on how the legal process plays out, it's difficult to see the Titans cutting him outright this offseason. Tennessee would only take an $1 million dead cap hit if he's cut next offseason. Ranking 10 greatest Kansas City Chiefs of all time, who could keep Tony Gonzalez out of one of the top 2 spots? Over the past 6 years, the Kansas City Chiefs have set themselves among the great NFL dynasties, and their current quarterback is on an all-time great path. So when the time comes to rank the 10 greatest Kansas City Chiefs of all time, recent history will play a major role in the pecking order. One of the fallacies about comparing today's players with those of yesteryear is the differences in the way the game is played. Patrick Mahomes' passing numbers would likely be completely different if he played in the 1970s. Teams simply didn't pass as often, and he may not have been around very long because the rules didn't protect the quarterbacks much at all. 10. DL Chris Jones. Chris Jones hasn't always put up the biggest numbers, but he's been anchoring the defensive line for the Chiefs during their entire dynasty. Jones is a 6-time Pro Bowler and made All-Pro First Team 3 times and Second Team 3 times. Jones had a career-high 15, 5 sacks in 2018 and matched that in 2022. He's already 4th on the Chiefs' all-time sacks list and could move up to 4th with a healthy 2025, and he's only 30 years old. 9. LB Willie Lanier's consistency and dominance earned him a spot on this list. Chosen in the second round of the 1967 draft, Lanier turned in an All-Pro performance in 1968. For the next 7 years, he had 3 more All-Pro efforts and made the Pro Bowls in the other seasons. An every-game guy, Lanier started all 14 games in all but 3 of his NFL seasons. Additionally, he picked off 27 passes in his career, including 5 in 1975. Considered one of the toughest players in the league, the 6'1", 245-pounder was a sideline-to-sideline, high-motor player. 8. R.B. Priest Holmes. After 4 not-so-exciting seasons in Baltimore, Holmes signed a free agent deal with the Chiefs in 2001 and became a star. His career enhancement came in the form of 3 sublime seasons from 2,103. In that stretch, Holmes dominated. Rushing for over 4,500 yards, he scored 56 touchdowns, and that included 27 in 2003, which was a then NFL record and still ranks tied for second today. At 59 and 213 pounds, Holmes turned into a beast when healthy. Also, Holmes performed well. In the passing game, catching 206 balls for almost 2,000 yards and 5 TDs in that same 3-year stretch, he earned 3 straight All-Pro honors and captured the AP Offensive Player of the Year award in 2002. He finished in the top 5 of the MVP voting in 2002 and 2003. 7. Will Shields. Every organization has a lineman who stands above the rest, and for the Chiefs it was the 6'3", 315-pound Shields. The right guard's consistency soared off the charts. From 1995-2006, he racked up 12 straight Pro Bowl performances and earned All-Pro honors 6 times. Accordingly, some have rated him as one of the best guards in NFL history. Hall of Fame quarterback Warren Moon told Kansas City, "Com Shields had immense value. Will Shields was one of the most athletic, if not the most athletic offensive linemen I've ever played with," Moon said. He and Randall McDaniel are in the same category, but Will was a little more athletic. Will had the whole package. He was one of the best pulling guards I've ever seen as far as getting out on the edge, and not just getting out there, but once he got out there, he finds somebody and makes contact. He also had the power to blow somebody off the line of scrimmage in the power running game, and he was a really good pass blocker. 6. WR Tyreek Hilsum rankings might not include the 5'10", 191-pound cheetah on the Chiefs' all-time top 10 list. But his role in the emergence of Mahomes cannot be minimized. A 5th-round pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, Hill made All-Pro or the Pro Bowl every season. His first honor came as a kick returner, but each of the other 5 seasons slotted him at wide. Receiver. In his first year with Patrick Mahomes under center, Hill had 1,183 yards receiving with 7 touchdowns. He exploded to 1,479 yards and 12 scores in 2018 and had big-time performances in 2020 and 2021. Plus, his ability to thrive as a possession receiver and a downfield threat made him the perfect fodder for Mahomes' growth into one of the greatest of all time. Mahomes told Fox News, "The Chiefs lost a lot when Hill was traded to the Dolphins in 2022. We lost an all-time great receiver in Tyreek Hill, someone that did a lot of great things for us," Mahomes said. 5. LB Derek Thomas. When the Chiefs selected Thomas with the 4th pick of the 1989 NFL Draft, team president Carl Peterson believed the choice could be a difference maker. "Derek was my first draft pick when I came to the Chiefs prior to the 1989 season," Peterson said during Thomas Hall of Fame induction ceremony, as reported by Arrowhead Pride. For the next decade, he was the cornerstone of the success of the Chiefs franchise. Thomas had 10 sacks and earned the AP Defensive Rookie of the Year award in 1989. The next year, he finished runner-up for the Defensive Player of Year award, dominating the NFL with 20 sacks. From 1991-97, he earned All-Pro, or Pro Bowl honors every year. The gifted 6'3", 245-pound athlete totaled 126, 5 sacks and forced 41 fumbles in his career, which was cut short by a tragic automobile accident in 2000. Thomas was partially paralyzed in the wreck and died 2 weeks later from a blood clot. 4. QB Len Dawson. Len Dawson was the first Chiefs quarterback to win Super Bowl MVP. He also was the Chiefs' all-time leader in pretty much every passing category for decades. He still is the Chiefs' all-time leader in wins as a QB with 93, although that should be surpassed this year. During Dawson's era, the Chiefs weren't exactly high-flying offenses, choosing instead to use the running game to set up the defense for big pass plays. However, Dawson still led the league in TD passes 4 times and finished second with a career-high 30 TD passes in 1964. Dawson was a 7-time Pro Bowler and made first-team All-Pro twice and second-team twice. He led the Chiefs to 2 Super Bowls, winning 1, and was voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1987. 3. T.E. Tony Gonzalez. If you stripped everything away and considered tight ends based only on pure statistics, Gonzalez is the best ever. So how is he ranks behind a player from the same franchise on its all-time greatest players list? First, consider the fact Gonzalez's run in Kansas City lasted 12 years. He added quite a bit to his massive career totals over 5 seasons, with the Atlanta Falcons including 4,087 yards and 35 of his 111 career touchdowns. But despite his 10,140 yards and 76 touchdowns with the Chiefs, the guy who took over for him will likely pass both of those marks very early in the 2024 season. Gonzalez earned first-team All-Pro honors 6 times with 4 other second-team selections, and he made the Pro Bowl every season after his 3rd NFL year except 2009, but he still had 83 catches for 867 yards and 6 touchdowns that year. Tough crowd, I tell you. Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan, who played with the end-of-career version of Gonzalez, told Atlanta Falcons, "The tight end was automatic. You threw it anywhere around him, it was a catch," Ryan said. "Every time we called this particular play, Y potion, he was going to catch it. Or when we ran another play called Shell, he was going to get open and catch it. It didn't matter what the coverage was or who was guarding him. He was unbelievably consistent and just automatic when it came to making plays. In my opinion, he's the best to ever do it at his position. I was just really fortunate to be a part of it for 5 years." 2. T.E. Travis Kelce. What Kelce has accomplished in 10 years is nothing short of amazing. In his first NFL season, he played in 1 game before succumbing to a microfracture procedure on his knee that repaired an issue related to a bone bruise sustained in the preseason. Over the next 10 years, he racked up numbers that can make wide receivers jealous. His totals of 12,151 yards and 77 touchdowns are staggering. He's a 7-time All-Pro selection and 10-time Pro Bowl member. He has 3 double-digit touchdown seasons, matching Gonzalez's total in a 17-year career. In the playoffs, he's been just as good with 2,078 yards in 25 games with 20 touchdowns. And he's the NFL's all-time leader with 178 receptions in the postseason. Also, Kelce holds the NFL record for receiving yards in a season for tight ends with his mark of 1,416 in 2020. And bagging 3 Lombardi trophies helps as well. A former great tight end, Rob Gronkowski, told the Ryan Russillo podcast that Kelce is at the top of the list. "I believe that Travis Kelce is the best receiving tight end," Gronkowski said. "He's the best tight end ever in terms of catching the ball. There's no doubt about it. Has a great red zone target. When he's not out on the field with the Chiefs, which is very rare, they're not the same team." 1. QB Patrick Mahomes. There used to be one play in the GOAT conversation, Tom Brady. Now, there are 2. Yes, it's too early to put Mahomes neck and neck with Brady, but talk started after Mahomes earned Super Bowl win number 3. Just for fun, let's wonder how the 9 teams that passed on Mahomes feel these days. Cleveland got Myles Garrett, so that was a pretty good haul, as he's arguably the game's best pass rusher these days. But what would the Browns have been with Mahomes? Ditto for the Chicago Bears, who thought Mitch Trubisky would be better. Yikes. Also, San Francisco Solomon Thomas, Jacksonville Leonard Fournette, Tennessee Corey Davis, New York Jets Jamal Adams, Los Angeles Chargers Mike Williams, Carolina Panthers Christian McCaffrey, and Cincinnati John Ross all had better ideas than drafting Mahomes. And here are the Chiefs, perhaps considering the purchase of a fancy storage unit to house all of their Lombardi trophies. Now, to be fair, Mahomes did nothing in his first NFL season, but it was only because the Chiefs wouldn't let him play. He got the starting nod in Week 17, completing 22 of 35 passes for 284 yards and an interception. Ho-hum. And now, Chiefs fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Chiefs. I'll be back any moment with more Chiefs Kingdom news.